Another Hollywood money-grabbing remake, or whatever flying fuck this movie's supposed to be. The Legend of Tarzan. I'll tell you what this movie is supposed to be. A lazy piece of cinema. Lazy script, lazy effects, lazy editing, lazy directing by David Yates, who also directed 4 Harry Potter films, including the last 2, which were actually pretty good. Lazy plot, but with a great cast, of course, because how else could you attract an audience? Throw in a bunch of A-listers, Alexander Skarsgård, Margot Robbie, Samuel L. Jackson, and poor Christoph Waltz, who should fucking fire his agent already. Throw in a decent trailer that shows just about enough in order for experienced movie lovers to be skeptical and say that it could go both ways and lets us hope and dream. But for the untrained eye, it may be a new, original depiction of Tarzan with 2016 technology and a great cast. So of course this movie will get the green light and $100 million funding because they already predict a huge profit if they play the cards right. So half the budget on big name actors, check. A quarter on marketing, check. And that leaves a tiny piece for the special effects, action scenes, and the entire fucking movie. So, let's see if I was right by analyzing the end product. The script, plot, storyline is full of cliches, from Christoph Waltz's bad guy character to Alexander Skarsgård's muscles. The CGI is poorly done sometimes. I mean, it works, I guess, but sometimes you can tell it's fake, and that's not good, not by present standards anyway, and especially when your project depends on those special effects. The editing is annoying whenever there's an action scene of some kind. It has those fast cuts, you know, the 1 second frames and the 5 different angles so they can mask the weak choreography and action in the action scenes. Okay, let's say that doesn't bother you, but there's no emotional impact. You don't really care for anyone. Again, the editing is too fast-paced. Whenever there's somewhat of an emotional moment, it cuts away too soon. In fact, that's the case throughout the whole thing. You don't have time to get invested. It's like they're afraid the audience would get bored, so they implement this fast-paced editing style. They introduce too many side characters and side stories and things from the past and flashbacks that have the purpose of fooling you into thinking there's so much going on. It's like fireworks in your face so that you don't realize how mediocre and bland and underwhelming everything is. Less is more, people. I can't stress this enough. Less is more. And maybe average moviegoers or people who don't care at all about movies will be fooled right there on the spot, but they won't remember anything about the film 2 days from now. I took my mother to see Independence Day 2. What? Shut up. No, no, actually, you should do that more often. Seriously. Seriously. She's 59 years old and completely sane, and after a few days, she didn't remember what movie she saw. She remembered the theater and something with aliens, so I rest my fucking case. Imagine the mic drop. Samuel L. Jackson's character is supposed to be the comic relief, I think, but the humor doesn't work at all. It comes off as silly and forced compared to the serious and dark tone of the rest of the film. All the actors are there just for their names on the poster, and that's it. All of them could be replaced with unknown newcomers, and the movie won't change at all. I think the entire cast had 2 weeks of shooting, tops. If you look back after you've seen the movie and think about it, it feels like they could have shot the whole thing in 2 weeks. That's how lazy it feels. Just in order to make the profit as big as possible. Even freaking Tarzan, in the first act they all talk about him being so badass and blah blah, and they don't deliver what they promise. The build-up is for nothing. He doesn't do much. He gets beaten a lot, and he stares a lot into nothingness, contemplating, and he poses and walks naked and wet a lot. So there's that. In the end, Tarzan is another boring, money-grabbing ripoff that deserves a 6 out of 10. Please don't see it in cinemas and wait for it to come out on DVD so that you can fall asleep midway. Thanks again for watching and have a nice day. Maybe subscribe? Alrighty then.